You're almost asleep. That warm, heavy feeling pulls you under. And then you fall. Your whole body lurches, you gasp. Your leg kicks out at nothing. For a split second, you were certain you were falling off a cliff. Then you're awake again, heart pounding, confused. Almost everyone on Earth has felt this. Most people think it's random, a glitch, a bad nerve, but it's not random at all. It's a 60-million-year-old survival reflex, and it's still firing inside you every single night. Scientists have a name for this. They call it a hypnic jerk, sometimes a sleep start. It's that sudden, involuntary muscle twitch that hits you right as you're drifting off, and it's incredibly common. Surveys suggest around 60 to 70% of people experience it. For most, it's just a single jolt, a quick spasm, back to sleep. But for some, it comes with more. A flash of light, a loud bang inside the skull, the vivid feeling of stepping off a ledge into empty air. So here's the strange part. This thing happens to almost all of us. Every night somewhere in the world, billions of bodies are twitching on the edge of sleep. And until recently, science had no idea why. Most people assume the answer is simple. Just a random nerve firing. A meaningless hiccup in a tired brain. But that's not quite right, because true accident wouldn't happen at the same moment, in the same way, to almost everyone alive. Random glitches don't show up on schedule. This one does. It strikes at one precise instant, the exact border between being awake and being asleep. And that's the first clue. Whatever this is, it isn't a malfunction. It's something your brain is doing on purpose. The real answer is far stranger than you'd expect. To understand it, you have to understand what happens when you fall asleep. It feels instant. One moment awake, the next gone. But inside your brain, it's a handoff. A careful, delicate transfer of control. As you drift off, a region deep in your brainstem begins shutting down your muscles. This is normal. It's called muscle atonia. Your body goes limp so you don't physically act out your dreams. At the same time, your heart rate slows. Your breathing softens. Your awareness dissolves. It's one of the most vulnerable transitions your body ever makes. And it doesn't always go smoothly. Because two systems are involved here. One is trying to power you down for sleep. The other is the ancient alarm system that keeps you alive. And sometimes those two systems disagree. But here's what's fascinating. As your muscles go slack and your body powers down, your brain is still monitoring you. And to a primitive part of the brain, a body suddenly going limp can look like a problem. Your muscle tone is vanishing. Your sense of where your body is in space starts to fade. To your sleeping brain, those signals can be misread as one terrifying thing. You are losing control, you are falling, so it does the only thing it knows how to do. It slams the alarm. In a fraction of a second, it fires a surge of activity down through your motor system, jerking your muscles back to life, catching you. That's the jolt, that's the kick. Your brain, half asleep, just tried to save your life from a fall that was never happening. And honestly, what comes next is even stranger. Because why would the brain interpret stillness as falling in the first place? To answer that, we have to go back. Way back, long before humans existed. Around 60 million years ago, our earliest primate ancestors lived in the trees. They slept up there, on branches, in the open. Dozens of feet above the ground, and up in those trees, sleep was dangerous. A loosening grip, a muscle relaxing too soon, a slow slide off a branch in the dark. A single slip meant a fall, and a fall meant death. So a reflex would have been priceless. A built-in safeguard that detected the body relaxing too far and snapped it back to attention before it could let go. The primates who twitched awake at the edge of sleep were the ones who didn't fall. The ones who didn't twitch didn't wake up at all. This is the leading hypothesis, championed by sleep researchers studying our evolutionary past. They call it the arboreal theory. The hypnic jerk, they argue, is a ghost, a reflex inherited from ancestors who needed to cling to branches to survive. You don't sleep in trees anymore. But the reflex never got the message. And here's the part nobody talks about. It's not just the twitch that's ancient, it's the story your brain tells around it. Because the jerk often comes wrapped in a hallucination, the unmistakable sensation of falling. Some people see the ground rushing up. Some feel themselves trip or step into a hole that isn't there. Why would the brain invent a vivid scene of falling? Sleep researchers think it's your mind trying to make sense of a signal it doesn't understand. The sudden surge of muscle activity arrives with no explanation. Your brain, slipping toward dreams, scrambles to write a story that fits the jolt. And the oldest story it has, buried deep in millions of years of memory, is the most dangerous one. You are falling. So in the span of a heartbeat, your half-dreaming brain builds a cliff, a ledge, a bottomless drop, just to explain a twitch that was only ever trying to protect you. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If this reflex is so ancient, why does it seem to hit some people harder than others? The answer is modern life. Sleep researchers have found that hypnic jerks become more frequent and more intense under specific conditions. Too much caffeine, high stress, intense exercise late in the day, and above all, exhaustion. When you're sleep deprived, your brain crashes towards sleep too fast. The careful handoff becomes a violent collision. Your muscles try to shut down before your brain is ready to let go, and the alarm fires harder. So the more tired and stressed you are, the more your ancient guardian panics. Think about what that means. The exact conditions of modern life, the caffeine, the late nights, the endless stress, are the conditions most likely to trigger a reflex built for the trees. We escaped the branches, but we built a world that makes our oldest fear fire more than ever. So tonight, when you lie down and close your eyes, remember what's really happening. You are not just falling asleep. You are crossing a border your ancestors crossed millions of years ago. In trees, in darkness, with death waiting below. And standing guard at that border is a reflex older than humanity itself. It doesn't know you're safe. It doesn't know there's no branch, no drop, no fall. It only knows its one job. The job it has done for 60 million years. Keep the body from letting go too soon. So sometimes, right at the edge of sleep, it reaches out and catches you. From a fall that will never come. You are safe in your bed. You have been for a very long time. But something inside you has never stopped standing watch. And every night, just for a moment, it still thinks you're in the trees.